You're watching ABC10 Plus This Week.
Hello everyone, I'm Chris Thomas. You're watching ABC10 Plus This Week. In dollars and cents, ways to keep your holiday spending in check. Plus, an Orangeville family receives donations for a home left unfinished by Anchor Tiny Homes. Then we hit the back roads for some family fun at a holiday celebration in Grass Valley. All that and more. ABC10 Plus This Week starts now.
In tonight's Dollars and Cents, numbers to make your holiday shopping budget and how to stick with it. You don't have to be a math whiz. You just need to know the 20-60-20 rule.
The holiday shopping season is so full of temptation. They're getting all the emails for discounts. They're seeing all of the ads in the stores as well. What are some mistakes people make with their holiday shopping budget?
Everyone makes the mistake of overspending during the holidays. They just do.
You can help avoid that by following the 20-60-20 rule.
All right, Shane, so explain for our viewers the 20-60-20 rule.
20% of your income, your take-home pay, should be devoted to discretionary expenses. And then 60% of your income goes to what we call essential expenses. So your mortgage or those bills that you have to pay every month. And then the other 20 should be investing or spending on yourself.
The 20-60-20 rule is a simple way to divide up your money into 3 buckets: 20% for wants, 60% for necessities, and 20% for savings. Take a close look at a month or two of your bank statements. Categorize your expenses. Which buckets does each item belong? How much money do you have left over after you pay for your necessities and savings?
A lot of people think they know their numbers in their head, but once you go through that bank statement, you go, oh, wow.
Once you know how much you can spend without going into debt or busting your budget, you can help track that spending on your phone.
Shane recommends apps like the Christmas List app to help you stay on track. You can make gift lists, get gift ideas, and share your shopping lists with family and friends. And no personal information or banking information required.
While holiday shopping apps can help you track your spending, taking that deep dive into your finances first will help you know how much money you can spend.
If we don't know and we don't have it written down, we're just guessing. And that's where we get into trouble.
So if you make your budget using the 20-60-20 rule, theoretically, you could do your holiday shopping debt-free. But sometimes, despite our best efforts, many people do choose to dip into their credit cards because we're only human, right?
So let's talk about that. Do you have any advice for using credit cards wisely?
Yeah, Shane recommends using cards that offer 0% interest for about 6 months or a year, for example, and only spend what you're able to pay off within the next couple of months. If you don't pay it off and you overextend your limit, that's where it turns into what's called bad debt and could hurt your credit score. The conversation doesn't end here. Remember, your money questions do have answers. You can find all of my Dollars and Cents stories streaming now on ABC10 Plus. The app is free and available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. You can also email me your questions at lpainter@abc10.com.
Donna sent 10 on your side this message saying she owed PG&E $8,000 over 4 months. I can't understand or do this anymore. I'm not using any additional energy from last year, but the bill is almost tripled. I have an elderly mother-in-law with dementia living with us. There isn't help with any of the programs. I don't understand how a small business owner is supposed to keep going.
It's important for customers to realize that there are many options for getting discounts, for making payment arrangements.
We went straight to PG&E for answers, and the company tells us this case is a good reminder to check on the status of any discount programs you're enrolled in. The California Alternate Rates for Energy or CARE program provides a monthly discount of 20% on gas and electricity, but you have to recertify every few years or so.
For the CARE program, customers need to recertify every 2 years, and about 3 months prior to the expiration of that, we do send customers a letter. But you can always check on your bill to see if you are enrolled in the CARE program. It's right there on the first page in the left column, or you can give us a call and request a CARE form to renew.
PG&E says they've sent Donna the forms to recertify and resume getting her discount.
There's also another program called FARA, which is for families of 3 or more, and actually has a higher income limit. So customers who may not qualify for CARE may qualify for FARA. All of these programs offer discounts on customers' gas and electric service.
And don't forget, ABC10 is here to help. Do you have a problem and don't know where else to turn? Email me at onyourside@abc10.com.
And we start tonight with an update to a story that we first brought to you on ABC10. An Orangevale family spent their savings on building an ADU for their family member, only to find out that more than $100,000, the $100,000 that they gave that company called Anchor Tiny Homes, would leave them with an unfinished project. Anchor Tiny Homes closed and filed for bankruptcy earlier this year, but there is some good news tonight. ABC10's Jeannie Nguyen is joining us now to explain in an ABC10 exclusive. And Jeannie, we're very happy about this story, right?
Well, Alex, after our story first aired, the family tells us that a lot of people were contacting them wanting to help. And tonight, the family gives us an exclusive look at their now finished project, all thanks to kind-hearted people.
Will you walk through the house with us?
Sure.
On this December morning,
Is this your new kitchen?
Sarah Schumann and her father-in-law were all smiles in his newly finished ADU.
It's really hard to put it into words, how thankful that we are as a family for this to come to fruition.
We first met this Orangevale family in July 2024.
Oh, I'm getting frustrated as heck.
Schumann hired Anchored Tiny Homes and paid the company more than $100,000, but their project was never completed.
I couldn't get an engineer or anybody from Anchored Tiny Homes to come out and take a look at it.
Schumann says after ABC10 aired her family's story, people began reaching out.
I think it was the following day I was contacted by Steve Tinkersley, and he kind of guided me through what should happen next.
That was an opportunity to be able to step in on this project and restore some faith in contractors and show that, we are actually here to help people and improve people's lives.
The National Association of the Remodeling Industry, or NARI, is a resource and networking group for people in the construction industry. Steve Tankersley is the vice president of the Sacramento chapter. He wanted to use his connections and resources to help the Schumann family.
Got in here, we knocked it out in about 13 weeks from start to finish. It ended up costing roughly $130,000 to complete the project. That was with the generous donations we have. Again, we had about $100,000 in donations.
One of those donors, David's Plumbing.
We know what it's like to be taken advantage of by a company, and after seeing so many others in the Scammed by Anchored Tiny Homes Facebook group, it kind of just felt like the right thing to do.
David's Plumbing says Anchored Tiny Homes hired them in May to do $14,000 worth of plumbing work. 7 months later, they still have not been paid. Regardless of their own grievances, King says he was more than happy to be a part of this project.
It seemed like they had already spent so much money and lost so much, and really we had time to give. So it just seemed like a good thing to do, to give back to the community.
The community built from many people feeling betrayed by Anchored Tiny Homes. Over the past few months, the company went out of business, and the CEO and COO, Colton and Austin Paulus, filed for bankruptcy.
Everything that unfolded with the company is, there's still a lot of questions.
Anchored Tiny Homes used to be headquartered right here in this Fair Oaks Business Center, and their name used to be displayed right there on that sign. And now the Contractor State License Board says that they have revoked the company's license back in November, and they can't apply for a new one for at least another 5 years. The company's CEO, Colton Paulus, did not respond to ABC10's request for comment, but he has been active on social media, writing this public Facebook post saying in part, "Nothing illegal was done. We simply grew too fast, scaled too quickly, and were not properly capitalized to support the growth." He says, "I wish it never happened. And I'm not a victim, I'm an overcomer."
I think that he's very far removed from the entire situation. He doesn't realize the impact of what he has done.
Despite ongoing financial issues with Anchored Tiny Homes, Schumann's father-in-law says he is looking forward to getting his life back on track in his now complete new home.
A little independence, make a nice little patio, sit out here, have a coffee in the morning. I'm looking forward to it.
Sarah Schumann tells me she was able to save more than $96,000 to complete the ADU on her property because of all the help from NARI. The Contractor State License Board tells me if the Pauluses decide to reapply for a license, they would be subject to additional requirements like a disciplinary bond as a condition of reinstatement.
Coffee on the patio. Now that sounds nice.
That does sound nice, yeah.
Now, for people that are still, dealing with this, clients that are still looking for help, is there anything that they can do? Who should they turn to?
Well, Alex, there are hundreds of clients that are involved in this bankruptcy filing, and the Sacramento DA's office tells us that they are still taking Anchor Tiny Homes cases, and the Attorney General's office is referring all these people to the DA's office. The bankruptcy case involving Anchor Tiny Homes owners is still ongoing, and it's working its way through the court system.
Yeah, and Jeannie has been covering this, so you already know. We'll keep you updated with the very latest. Jeannie, thank you for the update. We appreciate it. All right, the change in state law is upending the way community colleges teach calculus, and the goal is to make the pathway to a STEM career more equitable and accessible to people historically underrepresented in science, technology, engineering, and math. But some math professors and students tell ABC10 that they're worried the law could end up hurting the very people that it was designed to help. ABC10's Becca Hobbecker explains.
In California, 116 community colleges serve some 2 million students. Many students pursuing a STEM degree, science, technology, engineering, and math, are required to take calculus. Some who did well in high school math are able to jump right into calculus, but others, up until recently, started in lower level classes and tried working their way up to calculus with transfer level college algebra, trigonometry, or pre-calculus, or even remedial classes, which do not transfer to four-year universities. Several years ago, the California Community College's Chancellor's Office argued with research there were students taking lower level math courses they might not actually need, delaying their calculus requirement and therefore their degree. Some students dropped out altogether.
The length of the pathway to get to calculus for STEM majors is leading to an enormous amount of attrition.
John Hetz is the executive vice chancellor with the California Community College's Chancellor's Office. He points to a 2016 report from the Public Policy Institute of California, which showed only about 27% of students who took a remedial math course eventually completed a college-level math course with a grade of C or better. Just 16% of students in remedial classes earned a certificate or associate degree within 6 years, and only 24% successfully transferred to a four-year college. Research showed Latino, Black, and low-income students were overrepresented in these remedial courses. His office and state lawmakers did something about this, creating two pieces of legislation. The first, AB705, which went into effect in 2018, requires community colleges to consider a student's high school coursework and GPA as primary determining factors for placement to maximize the probability that a student will enter and complete transfer-level coursework in English and math within a one-year time frame. A study showed it helped at some colleges, but implementation varied across the system.
One of the things that happened in response to AB 705 is a number of our institutions lengthened their sequence of courses at transfer level, so college-level courses, but prior to calculus. And what the evidence shows pretty clearly about that is that when you lengthen that sequence, it dramatically decreases the likelihood that students get to the end of that sequence. And for a STEM major, right, calculus is not the end of the work, it's the beginning of the work.
So in 2022, lawmakers passed AB1005. It essentially bars community colleges from putting STEM students into remedial math courses and encourages students to be placed directly into Calculus 1. The changes go into effect July 2025.
What the evidence strongly suggests is that the best way for students who are STEM majors is to get them started in calculus with the appropriate support.
Earlier this year, the Chancellor's Office began encouraging colleges to create a support course for STEM students who were less academically successful in high school to take alongside Calculus 1. Colleges also have the option to design an innovative course that students can take the semester before calculus if they are struggling. But students with a high school GPA greater than 2.6 and who passed high school trig, pre-calc, or calc with a C or better would not be eligible for that preparatory semester. They'd be deemed successful enough to dive right into calculus.
We just think this law went too far.
Math professors like Rena Weiss of Moore Park College worry the new rules will force many STEM students who aren't yet academically prepared to begin with calculus, thus setting them up for failure.
It's like removing Piano 1 before taking Piano 2. Just go straight into Piano 2, or just go straight into advanced accounting without the benefit of introduction to accounting. There is so much content that students need to know, plus the math maturity that comes from doing problems of that level before advancing upon them in Calculus 1.
In the course of our reporting, the Chancellor's office announced just this week it's changing its guidance, making more students eligible for transfer level prior to calculus courses. Lowest performing students will be able to take 2 semesters, the next level up 1 semester, and STEM students who already completed the equivalent of these classes while in high school will still be placed directly into Calculus 1.
We asked the Chancellor's office why the change.
In a statement, they said the Chancellor's office over recent months has engaged in dialogue with faculty, administrators, counselors, and students about whether students who had not completed a class higher than high school level geometry or its equivalent would be fully prepared to enroll directly in Calculus 1. The updated guidance provides additional options for less prepared students before taking Calculus 1.
We are very, very excited that the state listened to us. So that's great.
Professor Weiss says she is cautiously optimistic, but still has concerns.
Some students do well in Calculus 1 without a lot of preparation. Others really need the preparation. And so we believe in these courses. We believe that they need to be there. And we're cautiously optimistic that the state will let us continue to teach those courses in the future.
The office says they will evaluate student progress over the course of 2 years and adjust, if needed, in 2027. Becca Hobiger, ABC 10.
And we also spoke with a student about her thoughts on this change. You can check out what she had to say on abc10.com. And I do want to mention California's largest nonprofit news organization called EdSource that focuses on education was the first to shine light on this community college math concern. Experts recommend any high school student with an interest in a STEM career should take as much high school math as possible before heading to college. It could save a lot of time and money further down the road.
And this holiday season, you can join ABC10 in taking a stand against hunger and supporting our local food banks. ABC10's Laura Painter takes us to the Sacramento Food Bank to show us how their services are helping people in need.
I grew up volunteering a lot, so getting involved in my community has just been really natural.
After moving to Sacramento with her family from Texas, Walela Mystic started volunteering at the Sacramento Food Bank.
I've seen my work make an impact on the people that I serve. At the distribution centers, for sure, seeing them go through the line and see all the food that they're going to get to take home.
She was struck by the fresh produce and variety of foods available at this food bank, something she says isn't always available at other places. Walela's enthusiasm for volunteering comes through in the dignity and compassion she shows to the people she serves.
I don't ever phrase this as a handout or as we're at the line at the food bank. I always make a point to call it their groceries. Sometimes people need a little bit of help.
And that need looks different for everyone. Food bank spokesperson Kevin Buffalino says people from all walks of life rely on the food bank to make ends meet.
I think there's this stigma or this idea that the only people seeking food assistance are those who are unhoused or maybe don't have a job. But that's not the case at all. It's a lot of times it's dual income households. It's a parent who works multiple jobs. It's a single income family. And they're maybe just one paycheck or one life event away from having to seek food assistance.
The Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services works with 125 partner agencies to get food out to people in need, and that need is growing. Kevin says post-pandemic, the number of people the food bank services has doubled, serving now around 300,000 people every month. They use nearly 1,000 volunteers like Walela every month to do their life-changing work.
Really great people volunteering through the food bank here in Sacramento, and it's been a really wonderful experience.
That was our Laura Painter on that story. And they also have programs to help families access diapers, refugee resettlement information, as well as immigration legal services. So for more details on how to volunteer and donate, just visit our website. That's abc10.com. We also have a link up right now for how and where to receive services. And thousands of people across our area go to bed every night not knowing where their next meal is coming from. That's why ABC10 and Wells Fargo teaming up for the annual Stand Against Hunger campaign. So now through December 21st, we are raising money for 7 local food banks, including the Sacramento Food Bank, to help feed people in need this holiday season. So to find a list of participating food banks, how you can help, go to abc10.com/standagainsthunger.
If you visit the Sierra foothills in December, you'll find a dazzling trail of lights leading you to downtown Grass Valley. And if you follow Paul Haas, the town crier, he'll give you a tour of the annual Cornish Christmas celebration. As you make your way down Main Street, you'll encounter a festive bazaar filled with local vendors, lively music, and even a walking Christmas tree, who claims to be a little more popular than Santa Claus himself.
I'm more unusual.
I got you, okay. I might tell Santa that, though.
That's okay.
Grass Valley's Cornish Christmas celebration is a long-standing tradition that dates back to the Gold Rush era.
Cornish Christmas has been taking place now, this is the 56th annual, but it goes all the way back to when the Cornish miners came to Nevada County to mine gold from the hard rock.
The Cornish people came from Cornwall, England, which had many underground tin mines. During the California Gold Rush, many Cornish people were enlisted to help dig mines and extract gold from underground gold veins near Grass Valley.
With that, they brought the Cornish Carol choirs, and those are what we're going to see, the Cornish carols, I should say.
The Cornish Carol is the highlight of the event. And for over 35 years, Eleanor Knitzer has been leading the choir on the steps of Union Square.
To us, it's a living history. They've been sung here in our street since 1878, every single solitary Christmas.
Carols are very important to Cornish miners. The music is rooted in Methodist hymns, which were passed down through generations and eventually reached Grass Valley. Eleanor says she's faced challenges keeping this tradition alive because the music was never written down on sheet music.
So when we started singing 35 years ago, we didn't have a lot of written music. They handed me a record and said, here's the music. So I had to copy it off of the record and give it out to the choir.
The Cornish people introduced new traditions and innovations to Grass Valley, including the iconic meat-filled Cornish pasty and the Cornish pump, essential for mining.
The Cornish pump is what goes around and actually dewaters the mine. Otherwise, the ground's full of water and we'd all be swimming under there.
Without Cornish miners, Grass Valley may have just been another gold rush ghost town, but thanks to their hard work in the mines and their welcoming culture, the town has grown to what it is today.
From Cornish Christmas in Grass Valley, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Thanks so much for watching ABC 10 Plus this week. Remember, we are here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 Plus app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Chris Thomas. We'll see you next time.
When I was a kid, we did not have food in our cabinets. You could open the refrigerator and you'd probably have like a bottle of ketchup in there. So when we would receive food from the food bank, it meant that I was going to be able to go to bed with a full stomach. I don't think any kid should ever have to experience that.
Hunger shouldn't be part of bedtime. Go to abc10.com/standagainsthunger and make a donation today.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. What's super exciting, I know you care about high school sports. You'll never find a more comprehensive guide and team dedicated to high school sports. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.
When I was a kid, we did not have food in our cabinets. You could open the refrigerator and you'd probably have like a bottle of ketchup in there. So when we would receive food from the food bank, it meant that I was going to be able to go to bed with a full stomach. I don't think any kid should ever have to experience that.
Hunger shouldn't be part of bedtime. Go to abc10.com/standagainsthunger and make a donation today. Weekday mornings on ABC10.
I know what we're doing.
We're getting you ready.
Oh, you're gonna know first.
About the breaking news that affects you.
What happened overnight right here in Northern California?
And across America.
Plus my 10-day forecast helping you plan and keeping you safe.
That's how we do mornings.
So you're ready to take on the day.
ABC 10 Morning News.
And Good Morning America.
Right here on ABC 10.
See you weekday mornings starting at 5.